Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden. It is that time again. It's time for my monthly blooming garden. It's time for my August blooming garden. If you're not familiar with my blooming garden is a project that I started for myself not last February, but the February before. So we are at a year and a half now, which is absolutely crazy. I'm shocked that I've been doing this for so long, but that's mostly because of all of you, because all of you are really enjoying doing this project along with me, doing it in your own homes, letting me know what plants you're planting for your monthly blooming garden. The goal of this project is to plant a perennial, a shrub, a tree in your garden every month of the year that you can, of course, so that your garden has interest throughout the whole year, not just in the spring, not just peak season, basically the whole year. And in the spring, it's really, really easy. It's a piece of cake to plant, at that time. I mean, take your pick. You go to the garden center and you can basically pick out anything. Starting about August is when it gets a little bit more difficult, and you really have to start thinking about what you're going to plant, thinking about how it's going to handle the weather that you have. This time of year, we get really, really, really hot. So if I want something blooming around this time, I have to make sure it's something that can handle the heat, like this volunteer sunflower. Look how amazing this thing is. I have to make sure it's something that can handle our heat. And I think I found a really good one for today. So I'll show you that in a little bit. But first, let me show you last month's blooming garden and then also last year's August blooming garden. So for my July blooming garden, I'm way back here, back in the back of my property in the back garden over by my greenhouse. And these are what I planted for July. And these are Limelight Prime hydrangeas. I planted them underneath this olive tree right here, and I love it. I love this combination. It's right next to these center stage crepe myrtles, and I just think it's so, so pretty. These guys are babies. They're going to get 4 to 6 feet tall, so they'll grow probably in about 3 years. They'll be full height, but I am just so happy with these. I kind of wish they were closer to the house so that I could see them more, but it also is kind of fun to come back here and see kind of what's hidden. You have to make it's bringing you out to the edges of the garden, and you can see this is definitely an edge of my garden. So these are absolutely beautiful, and I think this was a great selection for July. I could have even chose this for August, because you can see they're totally blooming right now, and I have other panicle hydrangeas that are blooming right now as well. So I'm really, really happy with these. I still have some more work to do back here. I think I might even want to add 2 more of these Limelight Prime hydrangeas just to really, really fill it out. And then I got to start doing some lower stuff, some stuff in front, but I will figure that out. I will see what I need to do. But for right now, I'm super happy with this July blooming garden. And then with the idea of next July, it's going to look like this, if not better and bigger and more mature. So that is the kind of the point of this this exercise, the blooming garden exercise, is that you're kind of planning for the future. You're kind of giving yourself a present for next year. Okay, so as for my last year's August blooming garden, it's right here, right by the willow tree. It's in the willow tree garden bed right along my driveway. I'm really sorry about the sun. The sun is in just the wrong spot right now. I planted a kind of a little grouping right here, and it included this beautiful lantana. I mean, really, really gorgeous. And I can't totally remember the name of it, but I think it was bandana pink, lantana bandana pink. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And I kind of want to get more of it because I think it's so pretty. Right behind that, I planted some skyscraper pink salvia. And then I have to admit, I don't know, I'm not loving it. It's not great. A lot of the blooms are falling off, and I can kind of see the calyxes, and I just don't think it looks, I don't know, it kind of looks a little scruffy. Maybe it's just where it's planted and it's not planted in a good spot. Like for instance, over here, this one is completely getting smothered by these amazing grasses. Oh gosh, I am having trouble with the light right now. So these grasses are Niagara Fall panicums, grasses from Proven Winners. Winner, you guys, such a win. Look at how beautiful these grasses are. this time of year, I mean, this wasn't technically my August blooming garden. They were here already. They were just smaller last year. But this time of year, they get these seed heads or flowers on them, and they are so beautiful. I cannot get over how beautiful this grass is. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I don't even really care that the grasses have grown and kind of taken over the salvia in this August blooming garden. I think I want to add 2 or 3 more of the lantana if I can find the same variety, but I just cannot get over this grass right here. It's just the most, I just love it. It's just so beautiful. And while I'm over here, I just have to show you all, figs are ready. It is fig season right now. I have so many figs on my fig tree right now. I'm gonna have to make jam or freeze them or something. There are so many. I need to harvest all of them. I'm going to have to put that on my to-do list for sure. And then look at all the ones that are coming as well. That's one thing about figs. They don't ripen all at the same time, which is honestly kind of nice because there is no way I could do something with all of the figs that I have on my tree. But it's time for me to start making some jam. Okay, let me go grab this month's August blooming garden plant. It's so pretty, and you all probably already know what I picked. Ta-da! And my plant that I picked for August is the tibushina, otherwise known as princess flower. I have had my eye on this plant for so long, you guys. I am so happy that I decided to get it. It is so, so pretty. I just cannot get over it. Okay, so this plant, it's called tibushina. It is native to South America, like Brazil area, so it's definitely a tropical plant. The hardiness zone is anywhere from 8 to 11, but I did see a couple spots say it was 10 to 11. There's not a lot of consistent information about this plant, so bear with me when I'm giving you the stats because I was having a hard time finding consistency with the information. But what I can tell you is that it's gorgeous. First of all, it has these beautiful leaves. They're like fuzzy. I am such a sucker for fuzzy leaves. I just think it just makes me want to go like this just all day long. They're so pretty. And then this bright, bright purple flower. I mean, just look at how gorgeous it is. And then one of the reasons why I love this plant too is the buds, right when they're ready to open, they turn this kind of fuchsia, corally pink color. Really, really pretty. Such an interesting plant. It definitely gets planted a lot near me. I've seen a lot of people have it in their gardens, on garden tours and stuff like that. So I'm really happy to finally get it in my garden. This plant, it can be grown as a tree, and I mostly see it grown as a tree in more mild climates. And what I mean by that is I mean like closer to the coast, not so hot. And so I've seen it in Oakland and I've seen it in San Francisco growing like 20 feet tall, right? It can get really, really tall. Around here, I usually see it a little bit shorter, but I'm sure if I kind of really took care of it, I could grow it as a tree. I would rather like to have it as a shrub. You can kind of prune it. You can even prune it to be a vining plant and grow up a fence or something like that. That's actually what I was thinking when I actually wanted this plant at my last house, and I decided on something else as a vining plant. But it is just really, really pretty, and I love that the name's Princess Flower. How perfect. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I was walking around this morning trying to find an area of where I wanted to plant it, and I think I've decided. And I'm thinking over here in my orange and purple garden bed, I think it will be absolutely perfect in this blank spot right here, just to the left of the chiclet orange Tacoma. I think it'll work really well with the Verbena de la Mina and the Russian sage and the Tacoma. I just think it'll be gorgeous in this spot, and the boldness of the tibushina's leaves, I think, will contrast nicely with the finer texture of the chiclet orange, and then of course the grassy texture of the Kniphofia. I think it'll be absolutely perfect, and I need more of that boldness in this garden bed, I think. So over here, there's plenty of room for it to grow big. I think I am going to keep it pruned down though to kind of fit in that area, but if I want to let it go, I can definitely let it go. I think it'll be absolutely perfect. So like I was saying, it was hard to find consistent information on this plant, but as for the sun requirements, it did say part sun to full sun, But I bought this plant from Orchard Garden Center in Lafayette. I just did a garden center tour. Check that out if you missed it. It's a beautiful garden center in Lafayette, California. And Lafayette is actually closer to the coast, so it's more of a mild climate than where I live here in Davis. And Anne, the manager there, she even told me that even in Lafayette, the Tubicina needs some protection, needs some shade. So I think if you live in cooler climates or in areas where the sun isn't as strong, you can put it in full sun. But if you live in an area like I do in California, you need to give it at least a little bit of protection. So my orange tree is over here on the west side. That's going to give it afternoon protection. I think that it'll still get enough sun so that it'll still be happy and it'll still bloom. I just think right here is just absolutely the perfect spot. And then while I'm back here, I do have some cleanup to do. I can see some weeds over here. I have some calla lilies I got to cut back. I've got some suckers on my orange tree. And of course I have oranges that keep dropping. These are all my old oranges. Look at my new ones. Isn't that fun? I love these orange trees so much. They're just loaded, absolutely loaded. So anyway, I think I'm going to be doing some cleanup in this area and then of course planting my August blooming garden. So let's get going. Well, my easy planting day ended up being a big cleaning day. It's the type of thing where you start with something and then you see something else and then you see something else that needs to be done and on and on and on and on. And then you realize it's been a couple hours. Yeah, it's one of those days. So my main goal for today was to plant my princess flower and I got that planted. I got the Tubicina planted. I love it right there. I think that looks so good right there. I love the bolder foliage, the bolder leaves, as compared to like the Tacoma or even the denim and lace Russian sage. You can see these have really fine leaves. Even the Verbena de la Mina has very fine leaves, and the Tubicina has a lot bolder leaves, which I think is exactly what this garden bed needs. I do have the big ears, Helen von Stein lamb's ear right there. That has some big foliage on it, but I just think I need some more. So I'm happy to plant that there. Then after that, I deadheaded my Midnight Masquerade penstemon that I recently planted here. These guys are looking really good. I'm happy about those. I started cutting back or trimming off some of the suckers that comes on my orange tree. I definitely get a lot of suckers. Like you can see, I missed this one here. You can tell it's a sucker because it has these thorns on it, which are not fun to cut off, but it's a job I got to do and it looks much better all cleaned up. I weeded a whole bunch of stuff. I cut back some of my yarrow. What else did I do? I cut back some of my Superbena over here and some of my Calliophis. I took off the suckers of this tree too, and I actually cleaned up a lot of the foliage from my calla lilies. I have a big grouping of calla lilies back there. They've had plenty of time to soak in the sun. Now I cut them back. They should start shooting up some new shoots pretty soon. And I have to say, they look really good. If you get calla lilies in the right spot, like just enough shade, but still a little bit of sun, nice, moist soil. They grow like crazy and I absolutely love them. So just a lot of cleanup happening. You know, like I was saying, it's just, I can just keep going. I could do there's plenty more for me to do here. But at some point I got to stop because I get too hot out here, especially on triple digit days. I do have to say my purple lilac vine, which is the one right there, that guy is going crazy. That was the very first plant that I planted for my blooming garden. It blooms in February and it is just beautiful, but it is a vining plant and it's going crazy. I need to start training it along the fence back, you know, all side to side, but it's looking really good. I'm excited about it. The other thing I was thinking while I was back here is I was just thinking how nice it was. I don't have a ton of shade in my garden. So the places where I do have shade, it's like gold. And right in between my two orange trees, I have this beautiful patch of shade, which is a really nice place. And I could imagine myself like taking a break from gardening here. So I was thinking I really should put like a little sitting area, like maybe one chair, maybe two Adirondack chairs back here in the shade. I think that would be so nice and I would use it all the time. So I'm thinking about this winter, maybe taking out this plain the blue salvia and maybe putting stepping stones there instead to kind of come back here. I think that would be really pretty. I got to kind of think about it. But anyway, I got a lot of stuff done. I'm kind of stuck back here now. I got to find a way out. So as always, leave what plant you're planning to plant. If you're doing the blooming garden, monthly blooming garden, or even quarterly blooming garden, let us know what you're planting for this time of year and where you live, what zone you live in, or what area you live in, just so that we all can get a lot of good ideas. I get a ton of good ideas from a lot of you guys, and it's always fun to see those of you who don't live in my same kind of gardening climate, just to see what you can plant this time of year. I always love it. So leave it in the comment section below. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.